Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about the impacts of toxic money habits that I talked about it earlier or earlier in the week. And the first impact of toxic money habits is stagnation of wealth. You cannot be able to meet a certain growth in your wealth potential. You see, your net worth, which is the balance of your assets less of their liabilities, is not moving. You are either on a negative, cannot be able to pull out of this negative, or even if you're on a positive, you're not moving forward. Your assets are not growing, your incomes are not growing, your overall wealth accumulation is down to negative or even negative or zero. So you're not growing as you're supposed to, as you desire to. And this can mean that you will take a lot longer to acquire financial security, financial safety, financial independence, and a good retirement. Because your wealth is what plays into the improvement of these other things. The second thing is you realize that you're not meeting your financial goals. Every year you set a financial goal. I will save this much. I will buy a house. I will do this and that. But you cannot be able to achieve anything if you are not, as we talked about, making any wealth. You are stagnating. You are living paycheck to paycheck. Every amount of money that is coming is actually leaving. You are not growing wealth the way you're supposed to be able to create this wealth. So you are not meeting your financial goals. And because of this, the third thing happens. You are constantly stressed. Financial stress and anxiety can lead to many things. It can lead to depression. The biggest factor beyond person to person relation in any divorce is actually financial matters, because a lot of people cannot be able to either meet their financial objectives, or the financial stress and toll it gets on them affects their personal relationships with their spouses, with their children, and with the relations around them. So financial stress and anxiety comes to you because of your financial toxic habits. The impact becomes the financial stress, anxiety. You are constantly panicking. Oh, will I be able to pay this bill? Oh, where will I get money for this? Oh, what will I? Even your overall health deteriorates. Then the other thing is restricted personal and professional growth opportunities. For example, your company decides to have a certain working relationship with an international company. The company requires to get one or two people to be able to travel in that country and be able to work there for, say, 6 months in an exchange kind of a thing. So you go there, you exchange expertise, learn new things, and it is an opportunity for you to take advantage of. However, your company may be able to meet your basic needs, but it tells you for the food and other personal expenses, you have to meet them from your own pocket. Now think about it. If you have been living financially irresponsibly, you have been living hand to mouth, and then you have to move to another country and be able to pay food at an expensive rate with a new currency that you need to pay a lot more for, you may not have the financial capacity to be able to sustain yourself there. This professional opportunity will go away because your finances are in tatters. You cannot take advantage of that opportunity to grow and put something in your CV and become a better professional. This opportunity goes away. Think about it. If maybe there was a piece of land that you have been eyeing, or where your piece of land that you bought, or even a country near your village home, there's some neighbor who wants to sell a piece of land and you had not planned for it. However, it is an opportunity because now you have access to another piece of land that is adjacent to yours and it is highly attractive. But if you are in financial turmoil, if you have nothing financial you can be able to put together, if your credit score is so terrible that you cannot even acquire a certain line of credit, a good line of credit, then you will not take advantage of that personal opportunity. These opportunities will be going left, right, and center to other people because you are not in a financial position to take advantage of these things. The other thing is financial resilience. I talked about financial security, where you can be able to pay your monthly expenses for 6 months from either your investments or the money that you have been able to save. Your net, something that is like a safety buffer for you. Sometimes you lose a job And you need to give yourself 6 months, not to change your lifestyle significantly for the 6 months as you look for the next opportunity. You become more financially resilient when you have this money. But if you look at your finances, and if this opportunity, if this thing that happens, either you lose a job or something drastic happens for your to your business and cannot be able to make up this income, if you cannot sustain yourself for 6 months and have to move out of your house, have to go back to your parents, can't meet your expenses, then there's a problem. You have limited financial resilience because of your toxic money habits, spending all the money that you get. You do not have enough to create a buffer. You need a buffer, but you cannot have a buffer and you're limited in your resilience because you do not have any money. And this is where it comes to. You cannot even take up opportunity to be able to take on a job that has more challenge and has more opportunities for growth, even though it is paying less, because cannot be able to bridge the gap in the reduced income potential that you're going to have in the new opportunity. So you become limited in financial resilience. The other thing is a negative impact on relationships, like I talked about. People who are broke are constantly angry. Remember, sometimes emotion go together with money. I've worked in a finance office and I can tell you the happiest times in any organization is on payday. On payday, people are overly excited, overly happy. In fact, if you want to con people, go on payday because they are extraordinarily happy. Then the times that they are the angriest, the most moodiest, they are mostly sick, they take off to stay at home, is before payday, a week before payday. People are broke. When they are broke, they are moody, they are angry, they are anxious. And this can easily end into negative relationships or impact on their relationships. They become the kind of people that you don't want to interact with. Their families do not want to handle them because of the constant financial strain that brings certain anger and anxiety and all these negative emotions in that person. So people avoid the person. This impacts your relationships because you are financially depressed. Then the other thing that affects your family too is intergenerational wealth transfers. Even if you made millions, but you used all the millions, you did not invest anything, you did not have any assets to hand down, you did not have any capital to give your children to start a business, then intergenerational wealth is cut off. Your children will start at a negative. You cannot be able to leave a will when you die. You just leave bills left, right, and center. Creditors are running after your children in your death because you left a lot of loans and a lot of bills and a lot of things that need to be taken care of. But when you leave your children with something, then you're able to disrupt the perpetual cycle of financial limitations and sometimes poverty in a family. Think about it. You have friends that you know who were able to not only be raised with the opportunities that they needed, that they could be able to take advantage of, but their parents gave them something to start off in life. They were given a house, maybe they were given a car, maybe they were given some money, maybe they have some inheritance that they get every month from a trust that their parents established. They have a certain safety. Even the way they live their lives is different from the way you live your life if you came from poverty. Then why are you denying your children the opportunity to be able to start on a pedestal as opposed to starting on the floor or on a negative? And even worse, if you yourself are dependent on your children in retirement, then you do not only generate not giving your children anything to be able to start life with, but you start them with a bill every month. They have to take care of their parents every single month. They not only start on a negative, but on a continuous negative trend. You become an expense that they have to take care of. Then the other thing is reduced retirement readiness. You will not be ready for retirement if you lived a casual life, entertaining all manner of financial toxicity. You use your money badly. You will not be ready for retirement. There was a study that was done in Kenya of how people struggle in retirement. In fact, only 30% of Kenyans were actually ready for retirement. And of the 30% that were ready for retirement could only replace their income by the year of retirement by 70%. Very few of them could be able to actually have the 70% of what they were earning at the end of the month. So think about it. Already there are people, many people have not actually planned for it. 70% have not planned for it. And even the 30% that have planned for it have not planned for it in the final extent. So they will still be needy to a certain point. Think about it. What is this impact to them? The first thing, it is noted that people who retire with less than they earned cannot be able to sustain this lifestyle. And they will end up being dependent on their children. They will end up being forced to look for additional employment and work in their old age. They will not even enjoy their old age because they are constantly looking for money. They're constantly trying to bridge this gap. And a lot of businesses started by retirees do not actually make it because they are started out of a desire to make an income rather than out of a desire to be able to meet a certain business opportunity. So businesses fail when retirees enter into these businesses to bridge a gap in income that they did not have in the beginning. Then the other thing is increased reliance on social nets. I remember one time used to go to this town that I was working, and I would find a lot of old people lining up in front of this commercial bank in Kenya. And I would wonder why are all these people lining up the whole day. Sometimes these people would even sit on the street, on the floor. Think about your grandmother sitting on the floor, and they would wait for hours and hours on end. Why? Because they are waiting for money that the government had assured and was giving through this financial institution to old people. You would think it is millions of money, but it was barely enough for them to feed themselves for a whole month. So your parent, who cannot even be able to stand for hours, is forced to line up for hours to get some meager income from the government that is dependent on the mercy of the government of the day. So if the government of the day says, we do not have money for these old people, then they go into abject poverty. Think about abject poverty in your old age when you can actually do nothing about it because you are old, you are sickly, you do not have the energy to do so. These are the things that I'm talking about. So don't be reliant on safety nets because they are reliant on the will of the government of the day, on the will and the mercies of well-wishers. Then the other thing is compromised way of life. You cannot live a full life. You cannot live a happy life because you are in a constant need to meet a need. You are constantly running. You cannot even spend quality time with your family because you are thinking of a bill that might come tomorrow. You're constantly thinking of something that is going to come in the future. You do not have the things that you will probably enjoy. You would think that if you were to get money and buy everything that you have ever desired in life, then you would have peace to enjoy these things. But if you're constantly chasing a shadow, a mirage of financial wellness, which most of the time means getting the next shiny things will always be popping up. A newer car, newer than the one that you have, is going to come up next year. A newer phone is going to come up. A newer gadget is going to come up. Your friends will have more houses. If you are chasing other Joneses or your friends, what they try to achieve, you also want to achieve, they will always have a little bit more. You will always be constantly chasing. Your quality of life will be strangled because of this constant need to have the next shiny thing and still struggle to pay for it. My desire is that you have a quality of life that is guaranteed by savings and investments that you have, and actually take the time to really enjoy your family, your friends, and the good things the life opportunities have provided for you. And this can only be achieved if you are financially well. If you are financially well, then even you have the state of mind to be able to think about certain things. You are even emotionally available to your family when you are financially well. But when you have all these toxic money habits that are going to be driving you up the wall and are going to make you experience the things that I'm going to talk about, then you will be constantly enslaved by money. My desire is that you become a master of your financial destiny and not a slave of your financial circumstances. I hope you're growing, you're becoming better in your financial affairs. Remember, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down in the comment section and like this video. Thank you and enjoy your